Today, anyone looking here sees just an old church. But behind these walls, there's a story that changed human history. Look at that dripping water, seeping through rock, falling on the same stone for centuries. But once, a very different sound filled this cave. We're going back in time, 526 AD midnight. We're in the deserted streets of Antioch. By the time the people of Antioch wake up, it's already too late. The Great Earthquake, the third largest city in the world, turns into rubble in seconds. 250,000 people in a single night. While every corner of the city crumbles, that small cave is still standing. So what was this cave? And how did this massive city become so magnificent? For the answers, we need to go much further back. 300 BC. Antioch doesn't exist yet, just a river, a mountain, and a vast valley. But King Seleucus Nicator looks at this place and sees something different. His architects surround him, a massive plan taking shape on parchment. Every street calculated to catch the wind, every building positioned to serve a purpose. This isn't just a city plan, it's the greatest urban engineering operation of its time. Every stone part of a calculation. The river is being tamed. Antioch will never know thirst. But while engineering brought water, no one yet saw the spiritual thirst. The walls are rising, like stone armor leaning against the mountain. These walls will protect the city for 1,000 years. But no wall can stop a faith growing from within. Centuries pass. Antioch grows, expands, shines. Rome, Alexandria, and look at that third spot. Antioch, the third greatest city of the empire. Stop for a moment in the market. Feel that spice hitting your senses. Greek, Aramaic, Latin, every language spoken at once. Antioch is beating like the heart of the world. At the same time, the theater is packed. Luxury, entertainment, power. Antioch is very confident. But in a small cave on the hillside, something very different was taking root. We're going back in time. 38 AD. These two men will change Antioch forever. One is Barnabas, the other Paul of Tarsus. These two men are walking through this crowd toward one place, the mountainside, with the scent of fresh, perfect figs from the market. 13 meters deep, 9.5 meters wide. Nothing compared to Antioch's massive theater, but the gospel began echoing right here. The cave is silent, only Paul's voice and its echo on the rocks. Not about marble temples, but about living stones. A structure built not from stone, but from people. Remember that dripping water? This water seeping from the rock was used in baptisms. Outside, a massive city. Inside, just a drop of water. And with every drop, a new life began. One day, the people of Antioch gave this community a name. Christian. Used for the first time right here. First spoken to humiliate. But throughout history, it became a badge of honor. The faith from this small cave spread. Rome's own roads became the highways of the gospel. The empire was unknowingly preparing its own end. A year later, Barnabas and Paul left from this harbor, setting out on the world's first missionary journey. Antioch was no longer just a city. It had become a base. Every baptism in this cave was a crack in the foundations of pagan Antioch. No one could see it, but every day it grew. When the plague came, Antioch's wealthy abandoned the city. The Christians didn't. They stayed in the streets, cared for the sick, sacrificed everything they had. This sacrifice did what no stone ever could. It conquered people's hearts. This fish symbol outsmarted Rome's intelligence, the world's first coded communication. The faith was underground, but no one could stop it. Behind the cave, there's a tunnel, carved by hand to escape during raids. Those hands were probably trembling, but they didn't stop. This tunnel is proof of what faith was worth protecting. This single sentence is history's smallest and greatest footnote. A city's name, the birth of a word, and that word, thousands of years later, is still alive today. A century passes. The congregation grew, from the cave to homes, from homes to the streets. Antioch's pride was slowly dissolving from within. 300 AD, the emperor made his final great move to erase Christianity. Books burned, but the word had already been etched into hearts. There was no book left to seize. And victory came with the Edict of Milan. 300 years of patience brought the empire to its knees. No more darkness. Now churches rising under the sun. Churches grew. Domes reached the sky. But that small cave was still there, quietly, where everything began. Look at the floor of that cave. Mosaics laid with care and love. This cave that was once a place of escape has now become a sacred space. We move forward in time, 526 AD, and that night came. Everything Antioch thought was unshakable suddenly trembled. 250,000 people lost their lives in a single night. The story was the end of Antioch. The city never came back. Those massive churches collapsed, but that small cave carved into the rock was still standing. The earthquake couldn't destroy what was carved into stone. What followed was sorrow. Trade declined, people left. Antioch, once the third greatest city in the world, faded into a small town over the centuries. But look at this cave. It withstood earthquakes, persecutions, centuries, still standing. Every year on June 29th, Catholics from around the world come here. And that water is still dripping on the same stone for centuries, as if it refuses to stop witnessing history. Look at these mosaics from the 4th century AD. 1,700 years ago, someone's hands placed these stones one by one, and they're still here. What is built on rock cannot fall. Antioch's marble collapsed, but this cave carved into rock is still standing. Antioch whispers this: history remembers not the magnificent, but what is built on truth. The word born in that cave is today the name of 2 billion people. Christian, first spoken in this city, in this cave, and it never fell silent again. There are many more places where the Bible intersects with history. Subscribe to our channel. Don't miss the next journey.